Hi, this is a video on the 6 guiding questions of inquiry. This is it right here, the 6 guiding questions of inquiry. These questions and how to answer them are the main technique I want to impart to you with this course. I hope you will use them frequently in all your courses, at least those that require papers. I have never seen a better model of how to answer an important question. Your semester project will follow this model, so by the end of the semester you should have these 6 questions memorized, but it's not a bad idea to memorize them now. They're easy to memorize, they make sense. I originally learned the first 5 steps, or the first 5 questions, from the book The Reason and the Balance, An Inquiry Approach to Critical Thinking by Sharon Balin and Mark Battersby. And here they are. Number 1, what is the issue? It should be in the form of a question, focused and specific, controversial and important, and be in neutral language. Number 2, what type of issue or judgment is it? What kinds of claims or judgments are at issue? For example, is it a factual question, an ethical question, a practical question? Number 3, what are the arguments on the various sides of the issue? What are their common responses to each argument? Sometimes it's a pro and con argument, but sometimes there are 3 or more sides to the argument. And here it is very important to hear from all the different perspectives. Number 4, what is the background and context of this issue? Who is the answer going to affect? What is the current state of practice? What is the history of the question? And what have previous investigators and inquirers found? This is a good time to note that the order of these different questions is not fixed. For example, you may find out more about the context and go back and reword your original question. Or most likely you will be learning about the context and the various arguments at the same time. You may realize partway through that this is more of a practical rather than an ethical question, or more of an ethical rather than a practical question. Number 5, what is your final reasoned judgment? How do we weigh and evaluate the various arguments to come to a final conclusion or judgment? The term judgment is in the inquiry sense, synonymous with conclusion, as in we judge that this is the best way to go forward, not as in we're being judgmental or judging someone's character. For example, some arguments may not be backed up by evidence, so you won't weigh them very heavily. Some arguments may weigh more in your evaluation. For example, an ethical argument may carry more weight than a cost argument. Number 6, how do we best communicate our final conclusion or judgment most effectively to the world, to the people we want to hear our conclusion? Will we use a paper, a letter to the editor, a YouTube video, an infographic, a film, a song? This last step is the most important. There's so much false and incomplete information on the internet right now. And as scientists and scholars and citizens of the world, I believe it is important to contribute quality information and discussion to the conversations that are going on. This is not always easy. It requires perseverance, and it often requires courage. Do you have the courage to communicate to the world what you have found out? Sometimes you really have to dig deep. But one thing that can help is if you've carefully walked through the previous 5 questions, then you have developed a good reasoned judgment, and you can be confident in the conclusion that you want to communicate. So, to sum up, the 6 guiding questions of inquiry are: what is the issue? What is the type of judgment? What are the arguments, the various arguments? What is the context and background? What is your final reasoned judgment? And how are you best going to communicate it? Thanks for listening.